Hey guys, so I realized that it's been almost a year since a video has been uploaded to this account, and that is just outrageous. I did not realize it had been that long. Wow. So I promptly decided to make a video, and I actually have a topic. I was looking through some of my old videos and I did a video like this, I think 2 or 3 years ago, and that is discussing movies that I bought on Black Friday, and hopefully you're not disappointed hearing that that's what I'm going to talk about. For anyone that doesn't know, I love movies and I love collecting movies. So on Black Friday I go out and buy a bunch of movies, and this year I went crazy. It seems that each year I increasingly buy more and more movies when I go out Black Friday shopping, and this year was no exception, except that it escalated a lot from last year. Usually it's a small escalation, but this year, no. I bought 26 movies and 5 seasons of shows. Holy crap. Don't ask me how much I spent. Don't ask. So I'm just going to mention some of them and maybe explain why I got it. I'll start with the seasons of shows that I got. I got 3 seasons of True Blood and 2 seasons of Supernatural. So the seasons of True Blood I got was 4, 5, and 6 because I already had 1 through 3. So I got the next 3, which means there's only 1 more season left that I need to get, which wasn't on sale yet because it just came out. And then I got season 8 and 9 of Supernatural, and I have the first 7 seasons. So now I have all of the seasons that are out on DVD. Now I'm going to talk about some Blu-rays that I got. I do not have a Blu-ray player, but there are Blu-ray editions that you can get of DVDs that are sort of like collectibles, and they're called Steelbooks, and it comes with a Blu-ray copy of the movie and a regular copy. And like I said, even though I don't have a Blu-ray player, I just love the cases that they have for this. So I'm just a sucker for collecting things, and I just really love these movie cases because the case is literally metal, and the covers that they have are just always so cool for the movies. So last year I got Doom, which I did not have on DVD at all. So there was actually a legit reason for me to buy the Steelbook because I didn't have it. So I was like, oh, well, here it is. Plus it comes with a Blu-ray copy, and it's still cheap. So I got that, and then this year when I went out, they had some Steelbooks of some of my all-time favorite movies. So I decided to get them even though I already had them on DVD. First 2 that I got is Serenity and Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, which this actually worked out pretty well for me because I then gave my regular copies of those 2 movies to my friend because she didn't have them. So I don't have 2 copies of these movies. I actually only have 1 because I gave my other ones away. But I love these movies. They're such great movies. And like I said, the covers are just so cool. And then I got 3 more, and these are my Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. I'm totally obsessed. They're like my favorite comedy duo. So I now have the Steelbooks of Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and Paul, and I also have them on regular just DVD. So I do have 2 copies of those 3 movies now, and I'm going to get the Steelbook of The World's End to complete my Nick Frost and Simon Pegg collection, so I'll have all of them. I'm such a loser. Now I'm going to talk about the kids movies that I bought, or more appropriately would probably just be to say the animated movies. I love animated movies / kids movies, so I actually bought quite a few of them this year, and if you see me looking over here, it's because I have a picture of all of the movies that I got that I'm using as a reference. So the kid / animated movies that I got include Hotel Transylvania, Puss in Boots, Ice Age Continental Drift, which I think is the fourth one. The first and second, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, the Lego Movie, and How to Train Your Dragon 2. Now on to the adult movies that I got. Smoking Aces 2, which I hadn't seen before I bought it, and I don't do that very often. I don't usually buy movies that I haven't seen. Otherwise, my DVD collection gets out of control. But I bought it because I have the first one and I really like it. And I have watched the second one since I bought it, and it is pretty good, but it doesn't really compare with the first one in my opinion. A Haunted House 2, once again, had the first one, hadn't seen the second one, but I have watched it now and it's pretty funny. I bought both the Wolverine and X-Men Days of Future Past. I love both of these movies, and I have all of the X-Men movies. I bought Ride Along, which is hilarious. 21 Jump Street, also hilarious. Anchorman 2. I'm basically naming all of the comedies that I got that are all really good. Wolf of Wall Street, which I have not seen, but I do really want to see, so I decided to just get it because it was only $4. Pitch Perfect, which is a great movie. I love it. The Fault in Our Stars, oh my gosh. Read the book and then I watched the movie, and they're both so good. So I had to get the movie on DVD. Gone in 60 Seconds, which was not actually on sale, but it was in the $5 bin at Walmart, so I decided to get it because $5. I love that movie. I love like con movies and also car movies, anything to do with cars, action, huge cons. Also, anything with Scott Conn. Let's just say I'm a little obsessed with his face and also the rest of his body. I got Jack Ryan Shadow Recruit. I have not seen any of the other Jack Ryan adaptation movies, but this one has Chris Pine in it. So of course I'm going to watch it because, for those of you that don't know, huge Trekkie, and I love Chris Pine as Captain Kirk. So of course I'm going to watch it. And I do love Chris Pine as an actor. He's a really good actor. I have seen other movies that he's in, but I became basically obsessed with him after he was in Star Trek. So I watched pretty much all of the movies that he was in. For example, Horrible Bosses 2, he was in that, which I would have seen it anyway because I loved the first one, but the fact that he was in the second one just made it so much better, and I really did like his character in the movie. He was so funny in that movie. It's really, really good. Bad Santa, which is extremely inappropriate. Like, do not watch this movie if you're not an adult. Lots of cussing, sex. There's not actually a lot of sex, probably just a lot of sexual innuendo. I think there's only really like one legit sex scene, but it's basically a comedy, holiday, Christmas movie. But it has Billy Bob Thornton in it, and I love Billy Bob Thornton, and it's just so freaking hilarious. But yeah, definitely inappropriate. Ender's Game, which I love this movie. I love Asa Butterfield. He was in Merlin. He played young Mordred, which was a big motivation for me to go and see Ender's Game. And it ended up being really good, and I really want to read the books now, except there's like 13 books. What? Like, it's just crazy, but I want to read the books so bad after seeing the movie. We're the Millers, which is probably up there as one of my favorite comedies, or at least one of my favorite recent comedies. It's pretty freaking hilarious, and like I said, it's really good, so highly suggest that. Red 2, which I am obsessed with Bruce Willis. I will watch any movie just with the fact that Bruce Willis is in it. Like, I'll be like, okay, even if you tell me, like, this movie is terrible, like, it is the worst movie I've ever seen, I'll be like, but it has Bruce Willis in it, so I'm gonna watch it. That's why I wanted to see Red in the first place. Also, the first one has Karl Urban in it, and I'm obsessed with Karl Urban. Once again, became obsessed with him after he played Bones in the alternate original series Star Trek movies. And then I found out that Karl Urban is a Trekkie, and that just made my obsession completely like explode out of my control. I mentioned Doom earlier. Karl Urban was also in Doom, which is a large reason why I love that movie. It also has The Rock in it, which The Rock was like my favorite wrestler when he still wrestled. Him and Stone Cold were like my two favorite wrestlers ever, which is probably a big reason why I don't watch WWE anymore, because like my two favorite all-time wrestlers don't wrestle anymore, and basically all of my favorite wrestlers don't wrestle anymore or are less involved in it, like Triple H and Shawn Michaels. I loved DX and like all of that, so I just kind of lost interest when they, all of my favorite wrestlers started retiring and all of these new people that are like total douches started showing up, and I'm like, I'm not gonna watch this anymore. It's such long-winded stories, just nothing to do with what I'm supposed to be talking about. Your next, which is a horror movie and probably one of the better horror movies that I've seen. It's really good plot, and probably the best part is it kind of pokes fun at horror movies, but in a really non-direct way, in being that in the movie, the main character is actually like a survivalist kind of thing. So she's actually like, guys, this is what we have to do if we want to live. Whereas in horror movies, usually everyone is completely defenseless and total morons. So it kind of pokes fun at traditional horror movies, but not directly. But I think it's definitely there. And like I said, it has a really good plot. And I would argue that at least the main character is a pretty good character. She's a badass, and I love characters like that. I got The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I have not seen this yet. I brought it up to school with me. I'm going to watch it tomorrow. But I saw the first one, and I loved it. And I actually saw the first one when I went out and I bought it on Black Friday and then watched it. So now the second one's out. I did the exact same thing. So I'm really excited to watch it, and they're so good. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say about that. And the last movie I got is The Hunger Games: Catching Fire, which of course I was going to get this. For those that don't know, I read the books about 2 or 3 years before they made the first movie, so I was already a huge fan of the books, and then they made the first movie, which was great. For those of you that have not read the books, the movies are really good adaptations of the books. So went and saw the first movie. It was awesome. I got it on DVD, and then they had Catching Fire on sale, so of course I had to get it. I have seen part 1 of Mockingjay, and it's really good, although after watching it I now feel like I need to reread Mockingjay, because during the entire movie I'm like, I don't remember any of this. Apparently the only part of Mockingjay that I remember is like the second half of the book, or more specifically like a small portion of the second half of the book when they're storming the Capitol. That's like the only part that I remember, which I imagine is going to be a huge majority of the second movie. But that's like the only thing I remember. So the whole time I was watching the movie, I'm like, was this in the book? I can't remember, because apparently I don't remember the whole first half of the book. I don't know what happened, but I really do not remember any of it. There was a couple things that kind of, I got that sort of like deja vu, like, oh yeah, this seems familiar. But yeah, it was pathetic. So I really need to reread Mockingjay, but I probably won't, because I don't usually reread books, just because I have so many books that I want to read that I have not read. So for me to sit down and reread something, it kind of almost makes me feel guilty, because I'm like, here I am rereading this book that I've already read when I have like 100 books that I own that I haven't even read. So I don't do it very often. So even though I say that I should, I probably won't anytime soon, but I definitely need to. And I highly suggest the books and the movies and all of that. Okay, so I don't know how long this video is going to be, but let me just apologize because I know it's going to be long. I'll try to cut it down as best as I can. But I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you enjoyed seeing my face, because apparently you haven't seen it in a long time. And yeah, I don't know really what else to say. If you're subscribed to this channel and watching this video and you want to see more videos from me or from Lucy, Lucy does upload videos on her personal account pretty regularly. I think about once a week, but probably not like consistently once a week, but she does it pretty consistently. So you can check her out. I'll put links, I guess, down in the description if you don't know what our personal channels are. And on my personal channel, I do upload videos more frequently than I do on here, but that's not saying a lot. But if you do want videos, suggest stuff. Suggestions are always good. It sometimes makes me want to make videos, sometimes not. Like room tour videos that I said I was going to do like a year ago, that I would do a room tour. It never happened. I don't know what's wrong with me. I just need to do it. Even if it's boring, I just need to do it. Just so I can stop like having this thing that I know I need to do that I haven't done. Maybe over break I'll do it. Maybe. Probably not. I thought about doing it during Thanksgiving break, but I didn't have my camera. So it was a really good excuse for me not to do it. But I have rearranged my bedroom, and I think it's how it's going to stay. So it would be really perfect timing for me to do a room tour. And I think actually my room is pretty clean and organized right now, so I should do a room tour, but no promises. If I do a room tour, I would upload it to my personal account. So I'll put those two links down in the description, and that's pretty much all I have to say. I'm going to stop rambling and just end the video. So I hope you enjoyed, and don't hold your breath waiting for another video. Bye, guys.